Our choices determine whether we become losers or winners, not our circumstances. Today, we're gonna talk about the ultimate mindset. What if I told you there was a mindset that will set you up to win in everything you do in life? I'm gonna share the secret with you, and I'm gonna tell you why most people don't have the ultimate mindset. I got to thinking about the ultimate mindset when I was really trying to figure out what separates winners from losers in life. I think about that often because if you know anything about me, then you know that historically, I should have been set up to lose in life. Listen, I was molested as a kid in Armenia, and that's an unfortunate thing that happened. Then we escaped the Soviet Union, come to the United States. Now I'm living in Section 8 housing, and I don't speak the language. I don't understand the American culture. I'm being beat up and chased down by gang members. All of my grades throughout elementary school, junior high, high school were D's and F's. I probably remember maybe one C, and I don't even remember what class that was in, but truth be told, I probably copied off someone just enough to get a C. I had to beg my high school counselor to let me graduate by taking some extra credit tests and stuff and studying, and it was just absolutely embarrassing, right? Everything in my life had set me up to lose, except for the fact that after high school, when I became a personal trainer, I met a gentleman named Jim Franco, and he was my first mentor. See, he was a personal training client of mine. I trained him 3 times a week when I worked at LA Fitness as a personal trainer. And Jim Franco had a lot of positive influence on me. What I realized is he had a very different mindset. Jim Franco was always happy. Jim Franco seemed always fulfilled. Jim Franco was kind and generous to others. Jim Franco was the opposite of depressed and anxious, which is what you see in most people today. Now, the reason I share that with you is the 1.0 version of Bedros, the version that had not developed in self-mastery, the version that had not started working towards his greater potential. That version was emotional. That version determined what I'm going to do based on how I felt that day. That version was undisciplined and inconsistent. That version oftentimes was anxious and depressed. But as I got to meet Jim Franco and as I got to interact with him on a daily basis, I realized that it really is choices. Our choices determine whether we become losers or winners, not our circumstances. I'm going to say that again. My circumstances should have set me up to be a loser, but my choices made me a winner. And I want to share that ultimate mindset that I got from my greatest mentor, Jim Franco, with you. I'm going to tell you that 99% of depression and anxiety is self-manufactured. Now, I know in the comments you guys are going to blow up. Well, you can't say that, depression is a real thing. Listen, I said 99% of depression and anxiety is self-manufactured. There's probably 1% of you who say that you're depressed or who have heard from a doctor that you're depressed and anxious, that truly are clinically depressed and anxious. Because remember, the doctors, unfortunately, the medical industry now, all they want to do is they want to feed into the opposition's desires, which is to keep you dumb and docile, broke and dependent on the system. They don't want you to step up in your strength, in your courage, in your masculinity. Because if you did, you would be a very dangerous human, wouldn't you? You would be dangerous to the opposition. You could not be controlled and managed if you are a free-thinking, healthy, happy, fulfilled, purpose-driven man. So understand that 99% of those of you out there depressed and anxious is self-manufactured. When a good man lets himself accept mediocrity, gives up control, and blames others, he literally surrenders the essence of who he is. Think about that. That's really what happens. And then your conscience goes, hey man, you have accepted mediocrity. You know you have greater potential, but you've accepted mediocrity. You are giving up control in life and letting yourself drift, as Napoleon Hill calls it in his book, Outwitting the Devil. You've become a drifter in life. In other words, you are like a rudderless ship. You are not going under your own power. You are letting the currents of life, of circumstance, of the opposition determine how you feel, how you think, what you experience, how much money you make. And that is very dangerous, because if you are drifting towards happiness one day, sadness the next day, broke the next day, fulfillment the next, and you are a very inconsistent person. I want to have a rudder. I want to have a vision of where I'm going, and I want to be very purpose-driven and find the shortest line to that vision, to that outcome. And if I can, and at that point, I'm a purpose-driven man. And you will not find a purpose-driven man who is also anxious and depressed. Because when a man is dedicated and committed to his duty and purpose in life, in reaching his fullest potential, there is no room, there is no time, there is no space for the devil to play. And the devil shows up as shame, as guilt, as depression, as anxiety, as loneliness, as hopelessness. That's the fact. If you're feeling all those things, it's because you are ignoring your higher calling. You know you're meant for more. Conscience is literally knocking on your door in the form of depression and anxiety. And that's why so many of you are suffering. But I'm going to share with you the formula for the ultimate mindset for you to be able to break through. But I need you to first understand that the universe punishes the lazy. The universe is just and fair. So the universe will never allow you to work towards something and not deliver the outcome. The universe also knows when you are faking it, when you're making a half-hearted attempt, and it will deliver despair. See, that's the beautiful thing about universal laws, is that the universe is just and fair. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care what color you are, what religion you are, what gender you are, what freak flag you fly. The universe goes, hey, you know what? I will conspire with you to deliver whatever outcome you want in life, but you must do the work. And in the absence of the work over a designated period of time, I will make sure that you feel the pain of your laziness, of your complacency, and of your desire of wanting an outcome without putting in the goddamn work. Doesn't that make sense? Like, why should I have to put in 20 years of hard work, coming here as an immigrant to this country, going through all types of trauma in my life, putting myself in massive debt, suffering and painfully clawing through adversity to bring myself to a place of financial success, relational success, fulfillment, happiness, and bliss? Why would I have any respect for someone who does not respect themselves to put that effort in and create the desired outcome like I have? And therefore, the universe does not respect you either. And I need you to understand that the universe will punish the lazy, and it will literally reward you when you have put in the time and the work. Because I hear this often, guys. I hear this when people say, well, what if I put in all that time and effort and I don't get the results? That is not how the world works. That is not how the universe works. It's almost formulaic. There's a certain amount of work to be done over a certain amount of time, and the outcome is given. Now, does that mean you're going to be happy your entire life? Absolutely not. I don't know of a single person who's happy all the time. It is okay to feel some sadness and grief. It is okay to be burnt out from time to time. It is okay to even feel some level of stress and anxiety. It is not okay to live there, to diagnose yourself and to manifest it further and make it part of your identity. It is absolutely not acceptable for you to live a life of mediocrity by self-diagnosing, self-manufacturing, and looking for evidence in the world that you have anxiety and depression. Because you have anxiety and depression because you are incongruent with the man that you know you are meant to be. And it is consciousness that's knocking on your door in the form of anxiety and depression, in the form of sadness and loneliness, in the form of shame and guilt, knocking on your door and saying, dude, I know you're meant for more. Dude, I know you can become the man who can impact and influence and make the income. But there is work to be done, and you constantly choose pleasure and desire over purpose and duty. That's what's happening. I mean, if you want to know the truth, that's really what's happening. And the ultimate mindset is this. It is to understand that you're only competing with yourself. You're only competing with the man or the woman that you were yesterday. If you start comparing yourself to others around you, you're very quickly going to feel a sense of despair and sadness and anxiety. And the reason is you can't compare your first year to my 10 years of work. So if you are thinking that you're going to compare yourself to me or to someone of high status, high income, high influence, high celebrity, how can you do that? It is disrespectful to us. It is disrespectful to those people who have put a decade or two in when you're still in year 1 and 2. And they say comparison is a thief of joy. It is absolutely true. You should only compare yourself to the version that you were yesterday and become that much better today. You see, because the ultimate mindset requires you to do the work even when you're tired, to do the work even when you didn't sleep well, to do the work even when you are sick, to do the work even when your kids pooped themselves and you had to stay up with them all night. That's actually happened to me when my babies were smaller. Went to bed thinking I was going to get 8 hours of sleep, middle of the night, up with one of my kids, and that's just the reality of parenthood. But I know I'm a purpose-driven man, and so I continue to do the work the next morning, even while I'm tired, even while I'm cranky, even when I don't have the energy, because I never allow my feelings and my emotions to dictate my actions. If I did, and I've told you this before, fellas, I wake up angry and bitter at the world every single morning. It is my morning routine that literally helps me flip the switch into a man of gratitude and kindness. Because I drink my 30 ounces of water, I never hit that snooze button. I send out 3 gratitude text messages to 3 people in my life that I'm grateful for. I turn on Jack Johnson playlist that I have, and then I go in the shower. And how can you not be happy after sending 3 grateful text messages to people and realizing that you do have gratitude, that you've got air in your lungs? There's plenty of people today, this very morning, who did not wake up, went to bed healthy, did not wake up. I am winning already by waking up, but I have to remind myself, because every morning I do wake up angry and bitter. But that does not allow me then to be an asshole and to then put off the work required to produce the outcome desired. And that's what I'm here to tell you. The ultimate mindset says that I will do the work when I'm tired. I will do the work even if I'm sick. I will do the work even if I didn't sleep well. I will do the work even if I don't feel like it. I will do the work if it's cold outside. I will do the work if it's too hot. I will do the work if no one else wants to do it with me, because I am driven by purpose and duty, while others are driven by pleasures and desires. And it is that fork in the road that separates the winners from the losers in life. And there's no other way to say that. And so the ultimate mindset means that you must compete constantly with the version of yourself that you were yesterday. And here's why that's important to understand. Because if yesterday you stacked some W's, those wins from yesterday were only good for yesterday. They expire at midnight. And I know that. I've discovered that. See, so many people rest on their laurels. So many people go, well, you know, I stacked a whole bunch of wins. I made a whole bunch of sales. I had $1 million a year last year. That doesn't mean that you deserve $1 million or $2 million a year this year. At midnight, the slate is clean. And when I wake up, I have to stack more wins. I must compete against the version of myself from yesterday. And every day, if I can get just 1 degree better, 1% better, take one more step forward in my goals, dreams, ambitions, hopes, and desires, and I stack those days, and those days become weeks, weeks become months, months become years, years become decades. This is how 2 decades later, I sit here in this great corporate office with such an awesome and amazing team, with 7 big brands under my belt, making multiple millions of dollars, being able to live a life like I'm the fucking Cinderella man. And I'm not rubbing this in your face, and I do not say this to impress you. I say this to impress upon you that the odds should have been stacked against me. But I chose to lead myself into the ultimate mindset, to become a purpose-driven man, the man led by duty and legacy, because I know that my time on this planet is short. At best, we might have 100 years on this planet if mom and dad gave us the right genetics, if we work out, eat right, keep a positive mental attitude, hydrate, and all that shit. You might have 100 years if you don't get hit by a truck crossing the street. That is not a long time. In the history of time, that is not a long time, so I've got a legacy to build. And if I don't do that, then what a poor example I'm being to my beautiful daughter and to my amazing son, right? I've got a 15-year-old daughter, a 17-year-old son, and the example that I want to show them is that you can come from a foreign country, have the odds stacked against you, live in Section 8 housing, be beat up and torn down by gangbangers, get in trouble by the law because I was a shithead of a human in my late teens and early 20s. But at some point, I made the commitment to flip the switch, and when I did, I modeled success, and success to me showed up as Jim Franco, a mentor. And I don't know who your mentor is. Maybe you're gonna say it's me, maybe you're gonna say it's someone else. But I would highly suggest that you figure out what you want in life and then find the type of person that already has that. And if you can't be around them physically in person, the next best thing is to read their books, watch their videos, listen to their podcasts, follow their Instagram, and then implement everything they teach and preach into your life. Because without implementation, you are just a gatherer of information. The lazy gather information. Oh, I know that book. I read it. Well, did you do anything about it, motherfucker? Did you apply it to your life? No, you didn't. See, the person with the ultimate mindset might have only read one book and they applied everything from their book to that life. The lazy person will say, well, I read 4 books. You did, but you didn't apply any of it to your life. So the name of the game is self-mastery. If you want to know what is the meaning of life, it is to maximize your potential. It is to self-master, because the creator, God, the universe, the Brahman, did not create us perfect. How boring of a life would it be if we were created perfect, in that we know the answers to everything, we're already self-actualized, we already know what our path and our purpose is, we don't have to try and search for it, develop it, test out different paths to find the one that is our true path. How boring would life be if it was so predictably perfect? That's why the intelligence of the universe is so great, that the potential is put in us. I think it's Steve Harvey that talks about the oak tree and the acorn. He says that acorn, genetically, at its most cellular level, has the ability to grow into a massive 150 foot tall tree. But if you plant that acorn in a shallow bucket, it will never reach its potential as an oak tree, even though the potential is within it. So if you constantly stay in your comfort zone, in a zone of familiarity, and you don't explore and try new things, you don't put your neck out on the line and risk losing a little money, risk being made to look dumb, risk being laughed at, then you are literally that acorn that has the potential to become a beautiful, massive tree with deep roots and branches that touch the clouds. But you have kept yourself in that box, and you will just be a sad little sapling. Understand that we are no different, my friend. We are no different. And so then what do? The ultimate mindset requires you to become that hero in your life. And so I want you to understand that it is a purpose-driven man who does not suffer from depression or anxiety, because there is no room in their life for the devil to come and play. There's no space or time when a man is driven by purpose and duty. But you must step out of that comfort zone. You have to put yourself on the line. You have to be willing to lean into the walls of your comfort zone so that the discomfort will continue to build and fortify you mentally, emotionally, and physically. Those of you that work out, you know that when you go to the gym, it is uncomfortable. It is not a comfortable place to be. You're sweating, your muscles are burning, you're exhausted at the end, but then you fuel your body with food and rebuild that broken down tissue, and you become stronger. You have greater endurance, more flexibility. That is the same way that your mindset and your emotions grow. You must lean into the sides of your comfort zone, press into the discomfort, stay in it long enough until you develop the mindset and the emotional capacity of a fucking gangster. Someone who has the ability to produce whatever outcome they want in life, because they stacked enough wins where they have an irrefutable number of success stacked on top of each other over a period of time. That is ultimate confidence. And that is your reputation with yourself. And so understand this: if you are interested in avoiding depression and anxiety, if you are interested in climbing up the ladder of success, fulfillment, significance, and developing the ultimate mindset, I'm going to give you a few things here that I want you to focus on. First of all, exercise hard daily over a long period of time. Like truly get jacked, get lean, develop muscles, get quads and shoulders and pecs and lats, like get veiny. Do something to look like a human anatomical chart. Because by eating clean and fueling your body, getting sunlight, drinking at least a gallon of water a day, exercising rigorously, You are doing what less than 1% of people are willing to do already. You already became a 1%er. True, you might not have the money of a 1%er, but just by training hard, getting lean and jacked, eating clean, fueling your body, getting sunlight, drinking at a minimum of a gallon of water a day, you're doing more than what 1% of people are willing to do. Like, that is fucking impressive. So you start there. And then each time you want to lose focus and say, well, I've got ADD and this is why I can't really focus. You go, no. This is a discipline issue, not an ADD issue. It's a lack of focus issue and a discipline issue. So I'm gonna focus on my purpose over the pleasures that I want. Listen, man, I'm not saying don't have pleasures. Look, I might buy a car to reward myself for reaching a milestone in my life in terms of business or success. I might take a vacation. The vacations that I take with my family are very different than the vacations I used to take before. I take six-figure vacations, and I love saying that, and I'm proud of that fact because it's a reward for producing an outcome. But I'll never choose pleasure over purpose, because when I do, I'm literally telling the universe, the higher power, the God, whoever created us, to fuck off. And I would never want to do that, because I told you the universe is fair and just. It will give you exactly what you deserve based on the effort you put in or did not put in. The other thing I want you to do is I want you to make a lot of money, because as you start making a lot of money, you develop financial intelligence. Add value, solve problems in exchange for money. Figure out, go back and listen to the episodes where we talk about business, entrepreneurship, leadership, the 4 high income skills. There are episodes dedicated to making more money so that you are not just a rat stuck in the machine that the system wants to suck dry. That is the working class. I want you to be in a position where your performance pays you more. Sales position, copywriter position, marketing positions, leadership positions. You don't have to start a company to be in that position. You can be in that position, but again, it takes a high level of confidence to put your neck out there and say, look, I'm willing to take a salary that's small for a commission opportunity that could be very big, but I have to put the fucking effort in, right? So get out there and make a lot of money, because in the process of making a lot of money, you realize there's a lot of self-development that's attached to making a lot of money. In the process of making that money, you realize how much risk you're willing to take, how much work ethic you really have. You realize how much shit you're willing to eat. That's just the reality. That's how money works. Now I want you to show more gratitude and be kind. The ultimate mindset requires you to show more gratitude and to be kind to others. And finally, you need to mind your own fucking business. So many people out there gossip, spread rumors, waste time talking about shit that has nothing to do with their own personal development into the highest level version of themselves. Just mind your own fucking business. Just because people are gossiping and spreading rumors and talking about shit that's irrelevant to your personal growth does not mean that you should be involved in it. You can easily walk away. But I don't want to be rude, Bedros. Listen, one of the greatest things I've heard Tony Robbins say is watch what the masses are doing and then do the opposite. I've lived by that for many years. When I watch what the masses are doing and I do the opposite, I tend to win in life. So as I'm telling you, this is not to say that if you do all these things and develop the ultimate mindset that you're never going to be sad, that you're never going to experience a little bit of depression, a little bit of anxiety. That is the human condition. You will. It is that you will have the formula. You will have the formula to constantly be purpose-driven, to dominate your duty in life. And you will do that through exercising hard daily, eating clean and fueling your body, by making a lot of money, putting purpose over pleasure, showing gratitude and being kind, and minding your own fucking business. So guys, thank you for watching and listening to this episode of the Bedros Keuilian Show. But above all, I want you to remember that average is the enemy, success is your responsibility, and change can take place in an instant if you are willing to flip the switch.